Students across the nation wrestle each day with the problem of illegal drug use among their peers. But what can be done to stop it? Hundreds of high school students from throughout Utah debated the idea of mandatory drug testing in schools at the Utah League of Cities and Towns Local Officials Day. They participated in mock committee hearings at the state capitol.
And that will be beneficial to students.
A group of teens played the role of legislators on a committee considering a bill to require drug testing in all public schools.
There was the proposal that it should be mandatory for any student that is participating in any extracurricular activity, and that within the first 3 weeks of the extracurricular activity, they need to be tested, and that the school will cover the charges.
Under the proposed bill, all public schools must implement the program, even without suspicion of drug use by the student.
Is the state going to fund this?
Students in the hearing expressed their concerns about the bill, and so did the committee.
It didn't make sense to mandatorily test everybody who's in an extracurricular, but only test some of the students who are in the rest of the student body. It seemed like there was no reason to differentiate between the two.
I feel personally it violates the students' rights. I suppose that if there was suspicion, that should be taken up with the student and their parent, with the principal. But other than that, I don't believe it should be right, and it shouldn't be placed like that on the student.
To what grades are we going to administer the drug test? Like in the initial bill, there was several, it was just mentioned public schools. It never mentioned what grade levels. So there's so many dimensions to legislation.
So a substitute bill was introduced.
Parents, guardians, or the students themselves must.
This bill proposed that parents should cover the cost of the tests.
I personally believe no, because it sort of ostracizes the students of lower socioeconomic status, because if the bill makes the students and the families pay for it, it will make it so that the students that don't have the means to pay for the tests not participate in the activities.
I liked the modification that we made, because that way you can test all students that you may have a suspicion about, not specifically just the people in the sports or clubs.
One student suggested adding a provision to reimburse the testing costs when the results are negative.
For negative testing, you shouldn't have to pay to prove that you don't do drug testing, so a reimbursement for that would be great.
After all the public comment and a healthy discussion, it was time to vote.
I am not in favor of the first bill as well.
Not in favor of the first bill either.
Both the original bill and the substitute bill failed.
It would be better to maintain the status quo.
I felt like there wasn't enough information to fully understand the bill.
The experience helped students hear viewpoints on an issue that affects them directly. It also helped them understand the value of the legislative process.
It taught me how it happens and how it works and how to make change in your community. It's how your issues are heard. I thought it was really cool, to understand how some of the process worked and how it works in real life.
It is fair and it is effective, and it also expresses the people's people's voice and their opinion.
It taught me that I need to be able to work with other people and sort of listen to their opinions and their voices, so I can actually make the decision that's correct.
For the Utah League of Cities and Towns, I'm Susan Wood.